Hey everyone, and welcome back. Do you like all of my Halloween stuff in the background? I'm so excited about Halloween. So I am coming to you with another video. I think technically this was a Tuesday Talks, but I'm obviously not posting it on the Tuesday that I was supposed to, but I was so intrigued by this topic and I saw Sarah Ella do it, and I love Sarah Ella, so I obviously wanted to do it after I saw her do it. This, of course, is, as you can tell by the title, I am dreamcasting my novel. I've talked a little bit about my novel in a previous video, the Writer's Life for Me tag, but I didn't really tell you guys much about what it's about other than it's new adult. It's kind of on the edge of new adult and young adult because it follows the main character, Danielle, through like the summer leading up to college and her first semester of college. Danielle, basically, she applies early to Ohio State and gets in. And by a series of unfortunate events, to say the least, she fails a class which she needs to, in high school, which she needs to pass in order to get into her program at Ohio State. So her application, when it goes under review at the end of the year, is rejected. So she is not accepted into Ohio State for the beginning of the year. The twist to this is her mother, her job, she's called a college psychic, which is an actual thing. There's a college psychic in my hometown that kind of is magic and finds the perfect school for everyone. My sister legit went to see her, and so that's kind of what she's based off of. But her mom is a college psychic, and so her job is to make sure that kids are getting into their school that they are meant to be at. And it's sort of ironic that she didn't make it actually into her school. And so it's just about the fallout that comes with that, and she has to go to her, not has to, but she decides to make up the class at her local community college, and it ends up not being terrible because her best friend from high school, Zoe, is going to community college and living in town, but she's sort of torn because her other best friend, Scott, is at Ohio State, so she's kind of torn. Something else that makes the deal a little sweeter is she sees her ex-neighbor who she had grown up with all her life until she was about 11, and he and his little sister, she was best friends with his little sister, and this boy is Luke Upton, and he comes back, she sees him, and he's going to the community college that she goes to. He got a big scholarship for football, or that's what he says. He has some secrets that she is going to figure out very soon. They sort of get thrown into a relationship really quick, and yeah, it's about her finding herself and discovering what it means to be an adult and what it means to be happy, and all of that jazz. So I'm just gonna get into what I think the characters would look like, because I think that's what you guys are here for. So for Danielle, my dream cast is Saoirse Ronan. I think she's perfect. She's very like small, which Danielle is, and she's funny, which Danielle is, just naturally funny, so I would choose her. Next we have Luke, who I talked about, and he's sort of this like jock, like pretty boy, like kind of typical thing, and for this I chose, his name's Caden Boyd. I don't know if you watch Awkward, but he's Jenna's, like, I think he's a Marine, like, fling that she has for a while, and I think he's perfect. The next person that I'm going to cast, I haven't really talked about, but he becomes kind of a big part of the story. He is Luke's best friend, and his name is Porter, and the perfect person to play Porter is Matt Vario. He's perfect, and Porter is, you know, he's kind of artsy and pretentious at times, and he sort of needs to be brought down to earth by Danielle at times, but they work together, and so they kind of get to know each other and have a bit of an understanding. And then Zoe, my dream cast is Jessica Parker Kennedy. and she's been in loads of stuff. And I just chose her because Zoe's like really like cute and like bubbly, and just always has funny, quirky stuff to say, and so I just wanted to make sure someone like could pull off like being cute, quirky. Because Zoe, her thing is she is a huge like crafter, and she crafts under stress, and so yeah, just someone that can pull off that sort of persona. And then for her other best friend, Scott, who goes to Ohio State, who she's kind of torn between, he just like tells it like it is. He's really honest. He understands Danielle because he goes through a lot of the same anxiety that she goes through, and they've been friends since like 8th grade, and they dated for a week back in the day, and it was awkward, so they're completely platonic. And someone who I thought would be fun but also serious is Robert Sheehan, and more like his Misfits look and less like his like Greek god look in The Mortal Instruments. He looked really good in that movie. I want him to be a little bit quirkier, so Misfits, Robert Sheehan. And that about sums it up. I hope that was a little bit interesting and sort of made you curious about my writing. If any of you are doing NaNoWriMo this year, let me know. I'm doing obviously a different book because that book is finished, but we should be friends, and I have links down below to my page so you can add me as a buddy. And yeah, thank you guys for stopping by my little book nook of the internet, and I will see you next time.